Dislyte, download now.
What's going on, party people? We are here because we have a response from the dev team, baby. We got a response, and very interesting enough. So Dislyte dev team Q&A number 6, and I want to read this out because it's very interesting. Because I know a lot of people probably just like clicked that and said 10 pulls. I'm out. I'm out. Thank you so much. Because I kind of want to go over their response, because I think their response is... We recently received lots of suggestions and comments regarding the Lone Star event. We attach great importance to these suggestions and have read them carefully. Words are important. We read them carefully. Each Esper possesses a unique position and fits specific scenarios rather than just representing a simple strength value. Many 3 and 4 star Espers are very useful and even irreplaceable in some cases. Now that is some scary stuff for them to say, because obviously we're all complaining mostly about how the banner, the pity is too high. So the first thing they come out the gate is like, I mean, what y'all need these 5 stars for, baby? These 3 and 4s is good, baby. What you talking about? Even though that is actually true, but I'm gonna speak a little bit later. I also saw, I think Zox did a video. He did it like he's gonna be doing like monthly or weekly updates as well. So I didn't want to do my own video. But now it's even better because now we have something else to base it on as well, like his feedback that he's been getting. Now this is what they said that they've been getting, so this is interesting. Also, we have always stuck to the principle of designing Espers so that you would only need to draw 1 copy to be able to use them on the field, meaning there is no absolute need to draw multiple copies of the same Esper to stack power. Now, interesting enough, it's like another thing. You have to like coincide why they're saying these things. They're saying that pretty much, in a way that they're saying, like, you know, if you luck out and get one of the characters, you don't need to keep summoning. That is why they took off the bonus of getting Ollie after you summon him at least once. So they're saying you don't need multiple copies. But they're also saying that in general, like, we're designing Espers, like, there's no real reason to get dupes. Now, dupes at the current moment do give your character a decent amount of a boost, like the HP. I think it's HP attack and defense. So you don't get anything else outside of that. So I would have to agree, like my non-dupe 5-star not going to be crazy behind in damage or survivability than someone else's fully duped 5-star. Like theirs will be better, but not by like a huge margin where I'm like, oh my god, I need to summon for dupes. But the problem with this statement also is that if that is the case, shouldn't you make it that it should be easier to obtain at least 1 copy of each thing? I actually think that in most gacha games you should be able to get every single character. I think that, especially not immediately, and that's I think the big confusion there, is that I don't think you should be able to do it immediately. I don't think you should be able to turn on the game and within like a month you have every single character. I think that if you're able to do that, it's purely through the like with money or something like that you could do that. But I do think that the whole aspect of a gacha game or a hero collector or whatever you want to call them, Esper collector in this case, is that you're able to get every character eventually. Especially as they do banners, like I use E7 as a good example, is that after they do a bunch of new characters, sometimes they take a break and they redo banners of older characters, so you can be like, oh, I don't have that character, I have resources saved, I want to go for that one. Or you say, no, you know what, I don't want that, I'd rather save for the next new character or the next collab or something like that. It gives the player options, but I think that you should be able to do it. Doesn't mean that you have to do it. Like some people can look at Ollie and say he's absolutely trash, and so is the sister. You know, I don't want any of these characters. I'm gonna save my resources for the next banner. But when you have the ability to say, well, the pity can be really high, you don't give the person that option. I think the option has to be there at all times, and putting the pity that high where at the moment that where we're at in the game you can't even reach it seems dumb. It just seems bad. And then even if you were to drop the same thing every month, so next month, let's say, or this month, or actually no, let's just say the next month going into July that they dropped another one, you still wouldn't really be able to do it unless they kept doing events. And I like to always talk about the resource gathering of a gacha game, excluding events, because you don't know if they're going to do events. You can't say that they'll always do this event, it's always going to go down like this. So right now you can't really pity them unless you spent money, and you also can't pity probably the next one unless you spent money. And again, I've always said that spending money is not should be something that you'll be willing to do in a gacha game, because it's a game. It's you paying for your hobbies, you should be able to do it. But at the same time, if you're toting a free-to-play game, you should also make it that it's majority free-to-play. Let's see. And the rest assured, we will keep adding free espers in the future. So this is also a little way for them to also say, and I'm not saying everything that they're saying is bad, but it's also the way to say, like, you know, don't get so hung up on the characters that you don't get, because we will be giving you free characters. So if you don't get one copy, or if you don't get dupes, don't worry, you'll be getting free characters, at least one copy of each character. So I guess that is true. Again, a lot of stuff that they're saying is true, but you also have to think about why they're saying that. What's making them say these things? Let's see. As a game that has just been released, we are continuously striving to optimize the gaming experience. Although there are still some shortcomings, please keep good faith that we will keep making continuous efforts to improve this title, and will synchronize our optimization plan for the future versions of the future version and Esper spin chance up events with you at a later date. So it pretty much means that they're not going to be doing any additional thing to Ollie's banner. So it is what it is. So if you see people putting up stuff, I'm quitting the game or something like this because they won't do this and that and the third, this is their first banner, and this is how they decided to go about it. And you have to respect the decision after a while. You can't hope for them to change too much. This is where they're putting their foot down. This is how Ollie's banner is going to go. If they want to do more that is more consumer friendly going forward, they will. And if they want to keep it the way it is now, then they can do that too. Because there are games that have worse or similar gotcha systems. So and some of those games are fine. Like I've said, some people have corrected me. Like Genshin Impact has changed their summon thing that you can. There's actual pities and stuff like that. Epic 7 has theirs, Summoners Wars has theirs, there's a ton of other games, Exos has theirs, and you know, there's a ton of plethora of different ways that you can go about it, but this is what they're saying. Like, they're pretty much sticking on to this, and of course, thank you for your enthusiastic feedback, that's funny, and support, for which the team would like to reward you with 10 records via in-game mail. We hope you have a great time on the continent of Grandis. The rewards will be available for the following. You have to be at least level 10, and that's actually, funny enough, that's gonna make it even better and more stronger for people to reroll, because if they could get that in their box, have a free 10 pull immediately upon some of the other things, I think you could probably do about 2 or so and then just reset. So yeah, so pretty much there is no, like, you can whine, cry, and do all that fun, gushy stuff, but they're pretty much saying that this is not gonna get any better, boys and girls. We're sticking to our guns. We like the way that this currently is. We like this 10% up thing. We like this. So I'm very curious to see what the next banner will be. I think that it's gonna be super interesting to see how they are gonna take that feedback, because that's the biggest thing. Now, one thing that I will say that I do think is the one thing that, based on everything that they said in this thing, I think that the 10, and it's gonna sound, here it is, I'm being greedy, right? I think 10 was just a little bit too low. I think based on the fact that they have such a high pity, and they know it's a high pity, and they're saying, hey, we're gonna stick to the high pity, I think that 10 should have been higher. I think it could have been 50 or it could have been 100. The reason why is because when you have bad negative news, if I search up Dislyte, and I don't know, but I'm just gonna do a quick search and see if I'm correct, and see what kind of stuff that I get. So just like me when I go on YouTube, right? We have some videos, but you do have this videos, and this is why some people, what did they say? They don't like doomsayers. When people are quitting, rest in peace. Some of them are not even talking about that. You also have people that are just summoning, that are doing summon videos of the banner, and then most of them, 9 times out of 10, unless they have a lot saved up, they're gonna probably be disappointed. Which you kind of don't want that either. You know, explaining the event, how it works. I do think that bad news is worse. Like, you want, when some people search up your game, you don't want to see that people are quitting. This is why I think some creators, like what we do is what we say, like, you know, don't put out too much negative news or too much negativity, because you're gonna make it seem like the game is dying or there's egregious things going on. That's why I think with this, they should have probably did a more generous, a way more generous give back, because then people would have been talking about all the people, especially the people that don't cover the game on a regular basis. They would, as soon as they found out how the Ollie thing is, they wanted to chime in like, oh, it's so bad. Barely play the game, barely upload anything, but they'll come in and they'll chime in. And of course, the regular people have to chime in, or else they're going to be down talked by the community that they're ignoring stuff and they're being biased, they're being too fair, they're being biased towards the company, right? So if they ignore the bad issues, you know, if you only talk about the good, I actually kind of agree with that. I don't like when I see a creator only talk about the good of a game or something like that, even when there's glaring issues in the game. So I like when creators also speak out about stuff, but then sometimes it becomes overwhelming. Everyone is saying this. Everyone is doing this. So with that being said, I think that they should have put this in, and having more than that, I think you would see a bunch of creators come back like, oh, look what Dislyte did. Look what Dislyte did. Because if you saw, more importantly, reason why I was showing that is because you don't see anybody so far, even though this thing has been out for a few hours, I still haven't seen anyone talk about the response from the dev team, how crazy amazing it is. And I think that that would have been really good for the team, because people right now, their last impressions are how bad the Ollie banner is and how bad everything is, and that's people's last impressions outside of a couple character guides and stuff like that. You want to push positivity into your community as much as possible, and I think this would have been a fantastic time to do it. So with that being said, I don't feel like doing like a separate big video or anything like that for summons. I'm just gonna give the 10 that they gave, right? So this is my thing, and like I said, I don't feel like saving for another banner. The reason why I do that specifically is because I don't know what's next into the game, right? So I find that some people, they say, I'd rather just keep saving, but like, what am I saving for? I might stop playing the game by the end of the month, and then it'd be like, wait, I should have saved this. I should have. So in the hopes that we did something, maybe they jaded the rates, right? They jaded the rates, so now everyone gets a legendary. That would have been an interesting one, right? If they would have gave like some type of legendary thing, or maybe gave Laura, Nicole. There's plenty of different ways I think that they could have made you more happy to be like, yo, let me come back into the game. Because yes, people quit when they don't get what they want, but you can't cater to that. Oh wow, look, Siren. Well, her name is Celine, but I meant to say Siren, and I messed it up, and I kind of recovered. Oh, there's two? I didn't know that there was two. Hey, Paint Boy.
I'm here so criminals are afraid of the streets at night.
You know what's also weird to me is that summoning is like one of the best thing in the game. Maybe that's why they hold it for ransom, right? Maybe they're holding summoning ransom because it's like a cool experience. That was what they gave me. So in my opinion, that was the love that the game gave me real quick. Two epics. And that's all it is. That's what it's all about. And I do, like I said, I do agree that you can keep getting 3s and 4s, and the 3s and 4s do really well. And the 4 that they gave Meredith is okay. She's just not as spicy, obviously, as the other two. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this was enough? Do you guys think that they are going to lead the game in the right direction? Do you guys, have you already quit, I guess? Is that a thing? I feel like it's too early to quit this type of game. Are you upset with the stance that they're taking? Did you want them to change more in the Ollie banner? Technically, the event is not over. The event will finish up. Well, they'll add the next part in like, I think, a week. So there's still going to be more. They could be giving out more rewards. They can give out more mail and stuff like that. Like I said, I still think that they should have gave a bigger prize. I think it's fine the stance that they're taking, but I do think that they could have tried to reverse the negative press and everything that's been going on. So many creators, like I scrolled through, I've seen more videos about people not liking the event and the pity and stuff like that. There's a ton more, but maybe there's more positivity out there than negativity, which is great. But I think that I like the game, but eventually you have to manage that as a dev and as the community managers and stuff like that. You have to make sure that it's overall majority positive. That's how Epic 7 is still here. Epic 7 had a lot of controversy. If you guys don't remember, it definitely had a lot of controversy, people not liking certain decisions, and they slowly but surely got it out of the mud. But it's mostly because the majority of the press and the things of Epic 7 were positive. They were always talking about the animations and the characters and the collabs. They kept the game majority positive, and that's how you keep it, because there's always going to be negative in a gacha. There's just things that people aren't. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.